Hello, this is Joe Varner from Thalia United Methodist Church, and today we have the privilege of having Jake with us. Jake, tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Yeah, thanks, Joe. Hey, I'm a physical therapist, so I'm a doctor of physical therapy. It's our job and our privilege to diagnose people with movement-related injuries and pain, mostly skeletal injuries and pain, and try to correct that, likely without the aid of medication or injections or surgery. So it's our job to help people move better and feel better, and try to do that with exercise, with manual, and other modalities.
Awesome. We're really glad to have you here. This is still a part of our series on healthy habits. And one of the components of this series has been movement in this area of fitness. And in order to live healthy lifestyles, there is the element of movement that we all have to figure out. But one of the ways that can be challenging for many people in our church is sometimes as we get a little bit older, it might get a little more difficult to move around. Or in your area of expertise, it may be that we've had an injury or we live with some kind of difference of ability. So that's one of the main reasons I've asked you to come on today, is to help us talk a little bit about those of us who may be a little more limited in terms of our mobility. Tell us from your experience and expertise some ways to help folks get started or think differently about physical fitness.
Yeah, I think it's important to think of exercise in a lot of ways as medicine. But the beauty of it, there's not side effects to it. So the same way we, potentially take a medicine to combat something or to prevent something, exercise can do that for us. So I think it's important also for people to understand, like, exercise is going to be, we want it to make it fun, and we want to make it enjoyable for each individual. So we have to find that thing that makes you kind of want to do it, and something that makes it consistent for you to do. So whether that's making sure I do it at a certain time of day, or that I have accountability and I always do it with the same person, or I find an activity or a group of people that I can exercise with, that's just something you can look forward to. It should, in a lot of ways, be one of the highlights of your day. A lot of times we say it's like the best hour of your day. So we want to make sure it's close to that when we do exercise.
Yeah, that actually gets to another category, and it's important for us in these chats with different people to try to highlight the interconnectedness of each of the elements we've been covering in our series. So fitness is an obvious one, but another one is friendships, and you've named that, the importance of having people in our lives that help us move more, and also to encourage us when we may not want to move on our own, to be that inspiration and really to make it fun. And I think that's something that can be helpful for people to think differently about movement, is how to make it fun. So what are some of the things that you encourage people to do to make movement fun and enjoyable?
Yeah, that's I think it's exploring a lot of different options. If it's getting your heart rate up, and it's getting you to work on some sort of strength or aerobic capacity, then that's fitness and that's exercise. So sometimes that's just for walking people, or walk around the neighborhood and walking a dog, or it could be racquetball or whatever it is. You want to find something that you find enjoyable. And then that exercise becomes a lot easier. So part of that answer is just being comfortable exploring new things. Sometimes we're like, well, we have a preconceived notion of what we maybe define exercise is. Like, I have to go to the gym and whether use dumbbells or machines, and I don't know how to use them, or I have to go get on a treadmill and I don't like being on a treadmill. So I think there's so many other options, and it's, as long as it's getting your heart rate up, that's what's important. So be flexible about trying new things and see if it works for you. And conversely, it's okay to go try something and be like, this isn't for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's helpful. Is first part, being open to trying some new things and experimenting, and then giving yourself permission to acknowledge when that's just not working.
Yeah.
I think sometimes when we're thinking about fitness or we see the pros, we think, well, they're really disciplined. That means that they've put in a lot of days when they didn't feel like doing it. But most of us aren't professional athletes, and
Yeah,
it's okay as long as we're moving to do what we enjoy doing.
absolutely. I think a lot of times we need to set a goal, a set of objectives. For some people that's to lose weight or to get healthier in a certain way, but you try to define that a little bit more. That kind of jokingly reminds me, I have a workout partner, and it's great to have someone who's accountable. We work out 6 days a week together at 5:45 in the morning, and it's the best time for us to get things done with our family time and work time. But we always make a joke sometimes is, there's no such thing as a bad workout, because at the end of the day, we're not trying to be professional athletes. We kind of jokingly say like, "Hey, I'm just trying to prevent dad bod."
Right.
So it's okay, but that's our goal. Our goal, we enjoy it. We definitely want to work as hard as we can, but we also know, if we're in there, we're doing something that's better than nothing. And yeah, so there's no such thing as a bad workout in my eyes. And there's some days that a little bit easier than others. But again, the accountability and finding something that you enjoy makes it a lot easier to be as consistent as possible with that endeavor.
Yeah. Now let's talk a little bit about those of us who may struggle for a multitude of reasons with mobility. What are some of your simple practices or steps towards helping people, whether it's an injury or age or whatever, to get people moving more?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's hard to want to even start exercising if A, you're in pain, or B, you have difficulties doing whatever exercise endeavor that you want to pursue. It's not going to be fun if it's painful or you can't do it. So there's multiple avenues for that. You can start off more generally and just work on mobility. We have a free resource on our website that has a lot, like a free mobility program that you follow along with. So you can do that, or our recommendations always start individual and have someone assess you, have a physical therapist assess you and screen you and kind of figure out, hey, where are my limitations, where is my pain coming from, try to figure out the cause of that and figure out where your specific mobility limitations are, and then you can have the right exercises and the right treatment plan to correct those.
Yeah, I think a really important thing to highlight here is the diversity of resources that are out there.
Absolutely. Yeah.
One of the things we as people tend to do is make excuses.
Yeah.
And that's not to diminish the pain some people are going through or how difficult it might be. But I think part of what we're trying to do here is make every opportunity available for folks when they're ready to take that step to find a way to do it. And I think you've helped us talk through this a little bit more to help people feel a little more encouraged to recognize that there are a variety of disabilities, but there are just as many ways to move around them. And sometimes it's as simple as going to a place like your website, or better yet, maybe even calling a physical therapist like at Direct Performance. So tell us a little bit about how we can get a hold of you or the people that you work with.
Yeah, absolutely. There are several ways. So you can go to our website, Direct Performance PT, as in physicaltherapy.com. So directperformancept.com. Or you can text or call us at 757-742-3778. And one of our, you either talk to a therapist or you talk to one of our admins, and we find someone who can specifically answer any questions and help you get scheduled. I think there's a lot of resources out there, and sometimes it can be a little bit overwhelming for what you said. So it's always good to kind of start with a professional who can kind of give you a little bit of guidance and direction, especially when stuff seems so overwhelming.
Yeah, that's so true. Because the last thing we want to do is cause more pain. And it is possible if we try to figure it out on our own that we could do more damage than if we ask somebody who might know a little bit more about it than we do. In fact, I had Stephen is someone that helped me with some back pain from Direct Performance at your Unify location down off of Rosemont. And
we're not there anymore, by the way, but we've moved that office just slightly.
That's good to know. So that one's moved a little bit.
We're actually closer to you guys now. We're inside of there's a new rock climbing gym called Latitude, so we're inside there. But
That's cool. So you switched from there to this rock climbing location.
Correct. Yeah.
That's cool. And that's at Latitude.
Correct. Yeah. Right at Pembroke Mall.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that is even easier to get to.
Yeah, super close.
Yeah. So I was dealing with some really bad lower back pain, and got some exercises now that helps me even today take the edge off when back spasm flares up, to try to get things moving in the right direction.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's what's great about it too, is you're going to learn something that you can review and use down the road.
Yeah. Yeah. Big time. So I'm going to close with asking what you think your one piece of advice for people who are trying to get moving would be.
That's tough. I think for me is, we were, there's so many suggestions, but if I can give one, we'll find something that you enjoy doing, and so you can be more consistent with it. And and don't hesitate to talk to someone. I think sometimes we can, we feel like we need to, physical therapy doesn't need to be 3 times a week for 12 weeks. A lot of our therapy is one session. Someone comes in, learns some exercises, gets some guidance, and goes about their direction on their own. So don't hesitate to ask for help. Again, whether it's with us or someone else, but and find something that you really enjoy doing. That's 2, but
I appreciate that. We're not counting, and we won't charge you extra.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I did forget to say this at the beginning, and for those of you who've watched to the end, this funny smudge on my forehead is because we're recording on Ash Wednesday, and I probably should have announced that at the beginning in case you guys thought, man, somebody must have really hit him hard in the head. This was just a part of our Healthy Habits series. So thanks again, Jake, for spending this time with us.
Oh, yeah.
And again, please feel free to reach out online or give them a call at Direct Performance.
Great. Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
All right.